Well, good evening, fellow practitioners. It really looks nice when we get a lot of snow, doesn't it? I like it when there's piles of snow, little mountain ranges, and the kids come and dig caves into them and crawl in there and make tunnels. That's great. Now let's just drop into our standing posture. And so we have the intention to embody this posture. And then we just let go of that and let the body just sort of find it. And you can move a little bit, let go of the idea that we have to stand stock still. Make little adjustments if you want, until you just feel this, this stillness in the center, this uprightness, and then this relaxation, even just the beginnings of it. Some teachers say it's you hang. It's like if you have a coat tree, and you hang your overcoat, your winter coat on the hook, and that's like hanging the body on this still, ancient, upright alignment of the skeleton. And so just make whatever little adjustments you need to do to relax into that. And then next we'll bow to the directions, we're kind of creating a sense of safety and support, that the body feels secure in its location, and the mind knows where it is. So starting with the north, and then the east, and the south, and the west, up, and down, and within. So in Qigong, there's always a relationship with the internal and the external. We may be focusing a little more on one than the other, but they're both present. So it's internal would be yin, external would be yang. So they always co-arise. You can't have, as Thich Nhat Hanh says, you can't have emptiness without a cup. If you have a cup, it can be empty. First, you need to have the cup. So we need to have this idea that we're a separate being, and that there is an inside and an outside, and we need to have that in order to empty ourselves of the limitations of that notion. So before we go into the backwash and so on, but Tricia Yu teaches this position, standing mountain, as the earth cone. The earth cone. And so, if you turn the waist, you can imagine you're kind of describing a cone that is a circle down on the floor and comes up to a point somewhere up above us. So she calls it the earth cone. And actually it extends down into the earth, deep into the earth. So there's that. And then, so let's dip the knees a little. So, and bring up, and then this one is the sky cone, okay? And there are Qigong movements where you're describing this cone to the sky. And in this case, probably the point of the cone is somewhere maybe in the lower dantian. So follow the arms down somewhere in the body. And then the upper part is of course, is infinite. So it's the earth cone and the sky cone. Okay, so this is a posture, and you can assume this posture in a standing. It's not one of the 5 classic standing postures, but it is a standing posture, in the same way that the earth cone is a standing posture. Okay, so that's the sky cone. And now, the process then of this Qigong is to bring both in at the same time, to blend them. Okay, so let's start with the earth cone. Okay, and so we're kind of going to do the Tai Chi warm up here, but we're going to keep the arms. So you're turning and sinking. It's exactly the same body movement, as this is. It's just we're keeping the arms a little more rigid. Not rigid, but we're pointing down. Okay. And then there's an accent on the sinking into the weighted leg. And Tricia actually calls this corkscrewing down. So there's, you sort of envision a corkscrew or a screw, a spiral, going down each foot, through each foot into the earth. Or just the whole motion itself as a spiral. But you need to sink the knee to spiral into the weighted foot. Okay, and then you can let go of the arms a little bit. They know where they're supposed to be, so you just let them be. So this is like standing mountain, only it's more interactive with the environment. Standing mountain is, a little more internal, but this is also having to do with the space around the body, okay, as well as below the body. Okay. Now in breathing earth Qigong, we usually don't stop things, we segue. Okay, so we're going to segue into the sky cone. Okay, so we're going to begin to lift the hands and reduce the movements. And we're still turning a little bit until we get up to the heart. Okay, so we can still remember the earth cone. Okay, and now we're going to start rotating the hands with the turning. Okay, and opening and raising, opening and raising the hands until they get extended. Now, in this one, we're not sinking the knees. We're kind of going up. Okay, we're sort of lifting, you can lift that heel off the floor, the unweighted one. We're going up. And you can turn the waist. Okay, now let's let the hands go. So the hands are going to describe this even more. So, and what we're describing is this spiral that's coming down from space into the body, or going up, getting bigger and bigger and bigger, or both at once. Okay. Okay, now let's slowly bring the hands down. Still turning the body, sort of massaging the heart here and reducing, coming into that still vertical alignment, reducing. Okay, and now go back into the earth cone. So we're going to increase a little bit more each time until we drop the hands completely. And turn, sort of let the arms go, let the hands go. We've created sort of this hourglass kind of this spiraling energy. Okay, now let's raise the energy. Bring the hands up little by little, up into the lower dantian, up into the middle dantian, the heart. Okay, and here, now it begins to, from the heart, then it starts going up. Okay, and we're making the movements bigger until they get very big. And that's sort of a reaching, extending. This has a bit of a feel of wave hands through clouds, but we're looking up. Your eyes can be partly closed if you like. If you were outdoors, you'd be looking up at the sky. We're looking up. Okay, and now let's slowly reduce the movements. Okay, good. And now let's just with the hands at the center line. So let's let the hands go down, but this is going to be subtle. We're just going to move the hands a little bit. So we're describing the same thing. Okay, and now let's start bringing the hands up, one at a time, up through the middle. Okay, and now we're going to do the sky cone, only more subtle. So just pointing up, okay, and now let's have it come down again. We're massaging the central axis of the body. This is forming like the double helix, really, inside the body. These cones came down when you get to the bottom, they're going down to the earth, okay, and then coming up again. Even more subtle. Okay, and then let's point one hand up, the other down, and then slowly extend. Okay, now this is just like a battery. We got one pole up, one pole down. Okay, now let's do the rotation of the center. So what we're describing here is the still point that runs through both cones. And let's reduce this little by little. Find it. Okay, let the hands come together slowly. Okay, and at the very end, then we'll turn the palms toward the heart and the belly. Now, in a sense, we've kind of brought the outer into the body. We brought the universe into the body, brought the earth into the body. Okay, now let's just switch the hands, pointing toward the body. Okay, now let's switch the hands again and keep them moving. And so this is the Qigong. This is moving the yin and yang energy now within the body. We have the sky energy and the earth circling that within the body. You may feel a little activation in your fingers. Okay, and let's reduce that movement. And come back into standing. And now we can just move our consciousness. All the movements of Qigong are wonderful, and they eventually lead into stillness. So we find now that we've brought our attention way down to the earth and way up into the universe. Our attention's been there. And our attention can move freely. We can drop our attention anywhere in the body, in this central axis, down into the earth. And then it can spiral up. You can use the eyes for this. Spiral up into the body and then continue spiraling up through the heart, neck, head, and spiraling out, up infinitely. And if you like, you can look down that cone, see right down through the body, down to the earth. And then we can spiral it back down. You can use the eyes if you want to, through the head, through the crown of the head, and then down. And then it starts going the other way, down into the earth. Okay, now so let's let go of the spiraling completely and just feel this vertical strength. And just let the head go way, 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 way up. The upper body goes just really, really high. The lower body is sinks down to the earth. We're just extending way up into the sky, way down into the earth. Okay, so this is our range of consciousness, sort of our range of motion of our consciousness. And in doing these practices, the division between inside and outside more or less disappears, really. So let's just relax here. Now, when you're doing this movement now, this actually, in a way, recalls the earth cone and the sky cone. And there's a kind of an echo of that in the body. Okay, good. So let's let go of the head and neck, and loosen up the tension in the neck if there is any, the shoulders. Now you can do the shoulders alternately or together, whatever you like. And we do these movements kind of separately. First we do the head, then we do the shoulders, then we do the chest. You can actually do these together. They don't have to be done one at a time, and they can, and it's fine. Let's do the turtle and the crane too. So, so the turtle, we lead with the chin. The chin goes out and then down and then back in and up. We're making a circle with the chin, a big circle. Okay. And then the crane is the opposite. Circling the chin, tucking the chin, extending it. And then we can go into sort of circling the head, moving the shoulders. Now, if you like, you can drop down into the hip circles. So we're moving the whole upper body, the head, neck, shoulders, and circling the hips. And the reason that I'm showing you all this at once is not so we can do it faster, but it's so that when we get into sitting practice or standing, if we start to feel stiff or we start to sag, we can just do that, and the body realigns. You know, so that's sort of a shorthand, but the body will remember where you want it to be, where it wants to be open. Okay. And then we can do opening the chest too. Open the chest, open the back, open the front, open the back. And there's an echo here too. We're opening one gate, but we're opening the middle one, fourth one. So we are opening all of them. And you can do the turtle while doing this. It's fine to combine these things. Okay, let's reduce that. So, Qigong is very active, um, but being receptive co-arises with being active. So if we're like opening this gate, it's like we're pulling this gate open, right? What we're doing is we're giving it the intention to open, and we're letting it open. This is very central to this, that we start the practice and then we release and we let it go and let it open on its own. Well, that's true of all the gates. Otherwise, it's too young. It's too active. We're reducing the body, the power of the body. Okay. All right. So, maybe we've done the hip circles or not, but and then this way. Okay, and let's do the balance. We haven't done these for a while, so in order to do these, we really have to be very familiar with being double weighted, with being steady. So then we shift, and then we remain steady. Okay. All right, and then just finding that central axis, and let's go with the backwash, tree and spring. So opening the back. Now, can you see the sky cone and the earth cone in this movement? And we're bringing the earth energy up and then releasing it up, opening to the sky, bringing the sky energy down, rooting it in the earth. Now, after all this, maybe you can just sort of drop into, just be receptive without arranging anything. And just feel the body align itself. And chin is tucked a little. And then that axial alignment activates the crown of the head, which is directly over the pelvis. And with the in-breath, we can elongate the spine just a little bit. With the out-breath, we relax. So the in-breath is kind of the coat tree. The out-breath is the coat, just resting. So the in-breath, we can be kind of bringing down energy from the stars. And then out-breath, shooting it down into the earth through the legs and the perineum. In-breath, we can also draw up the earth chi, release it up into the sky. You can do them one at a time, alternating, or you can just let them both go at once. And we're not imagining this where the mind is in the body here. So we're inhabiting the body and also the earth and the sky. Okay, and when you're ready, let's go ahead and bring up our stool. And so let's, with our attention, let's just go through these, starting low in the body with the point where we first sense the in-breath begin. It's going to be down low, inside. And this is the lower dantian area, maybe near the perineum. And the belly expands forward and the back expands backward with the in-breath. It's like filling up a balloon, expands in all directions in the abdomen. The whole body structure in that area just relaxes, just allows. Okay, and then moving up, the attention up the middle of the body and up to the middle of the chest. Now aware of the lungs, you can feel them expand and relax. Maybe we can feel the heart beating. And the chest expands to the front and to the back, to both sides. The lungs are like balloons. And this is in direct alignment with the belly doing this. So the whole torso expands outward in all directions with the in-breath. And then relaxes. And with the out breath, we can have a sense of radiating. The body's radiating heat. It's radiating electromagnetic energy. And it's radiating chi. There's an interplay, the internal and the external. And moving up through the throat. And dropping the chin a little and acknowledging the face. And then bringing the attention around to the sides of the head, the back of the head, top of the head. There's a whole head here. And then imagining taking our hands very gently on each side of the head and just lifting and placing the head on the top of the spine, like those balancing rocks. Just placing it and letting it find its place. We may have to bring the chin in a little because we have a tendency to lean forward. So you may have to counter that with a little bit of intention. And that may draw the shoulders back just a little. And when there's alignment, then there's no blockage between the distant stars and the earth beneath us. There's no blockage. It's a clear channel, tunnel, whatever. Let's have a sense that the air around the body is supporting the body. It's soft, it's kind of cloud-like. And we can just deeply relax. Air is supporting the earth. The heat is radiating out. The water is moving through the whole system. It's a world. The body is a world inhabited by many beings, little cells. And the body is like the earth with all these living beings. And just like the cells are each part of something much greater, that is the body. Likewise, this body-mind is part of a consciousness that is much greater, manifests in billions of other beings. So there really is no separation. There's just levels of gradation. And so if we go up, we go into spaciousness. We go down, we go into solidity. And they both co-arise. Form and boundlessness co-arise. And in the mind, which is boundless, thoughts can form. That is, forms can appear and disappear. And in the space of this world, forms are constantly appearing and disappearing. In the body, cells are being born and dying. In the world, creatures being born, dying, coming and going. Boundlessness becoming form. Form becoming boundlessness. And surrounding it all is awareness, or Qi. If you need to make little adjustments to the body, just it's fine. And when it's in alignment, it's open and there's very little sense of separateness. So in this class, it's useful to have a voice that's kind of guiding you. And outside of class, when this voice isn't there, then you just substitute your own voice and coach yourself through it. Comment on it. Let your own voice, that aspect of your consciousness, let that guide you and support you in this practice. Okay, so let's make a few adjustments as you need to. Maybe make your movements a little bigger. And loosen the body a little. Okay, and then let your eyes come fully open. Come back to your environment. Okay. On the count of 3, let's clap our hands one time. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Beginning with the eyes. Comb back the hair. Brush down the face. Massage the temples. And the ears. Tap the kidneys. Massage your kidneys.